Well, video number 2, I started talking about Tesla and then decided to do a separate video. Oh. Sorry, AB, I started to rest a bit here. You're welcome to spank me someday. Hope nothing's showing. No, nothing's showing. I look just like somebody came out of the swimming pool. Right. Anyway, Tesla. I studied him in the 70s, early 80s, as much as I could. Had all the books, his autobiography, Colorado Spring Note. Since I'm into vintage stuff, it was perfect for what I wanted to learn. And how to build coils and disruptive discharge transformers. I was very accurate in getting the actual vintage stuff. As Tom Bearden says, old cable wire, old copper wire gives off electron gas. So lucky. Scrapyards of Vancouver had everything, and surplus stores. I have to rely on eBay and scrapyards here in Willits, California. So it's a slow process. I would study everything Tesla would write about, and I'd duplicate a lot of his stuff. I had original pieces, well, not original meaning similar pieces, like dynamos and that kind of stuff that were found in the scrapyard by Phil Gaddison of Adnac Salvage. And what else? Okay, so in doing so and playing with stuff like that, I discovered the H effect, named by Hathaway and other scientists over the years. So how do I describe it? I don't know. Hal Fox, by the way, put out diagrams of it. Canadian D&D, Department of National Defence Canada, Dr. Harold Wilson kind of figured out some things that I was doing when they did their visit with me, when orders of Deputy Prime Minister Eric Nielsen. So they studied it, capturing as much as they could with cameras. And I tried to get footage. It seems like governments don't want to give footage away, and I had to go through my member of parliament, Chuck Cook, to get footage. But they said it's a matter of national security, so limit your involvement somehow, something rather anyway. Ha! CSIS agents and all that stuff. But anyway, it has lots to do with magnetic fields, electrostatic fields, and super high direct current voltage, as well as high frequency AC voltage. And I use different types of radio receivers to listen to the endless, unique sounds that happen. Magnetic fields, electromagnetic fields, and I have to adjust stuff and I move stuff around quite a bit, like I'm doing here, moving around and testing things. Well, I can't describe it, mathematics. No. Luckily it was the Hutchinson effect, my name. Sometimes it's very random, sometimes it doesn't operate, sometimes it goes berserk. Like Dr. Thurston Ludwig filmed me for 2 weeks and got a lot of stuff on tape. It was random in one spot, which was weird. Normally it doesn't do that, but it was very stable. And since television people are coming filming the effects themselves, what I would do is leave everything plugged in, not move anything, and when anybody came in, I just threw the main breaker. Everything came on. Don't touch that dial. So they were lucky, it happened. It was happening so much that the mayor of New Westminster, British Columbia, where I lived, was getting all these reports of stuff happening in other people's apartments, okay? I was literally forced to stop doing that stuff. So that happened. It's kind of disturbing, but I cooperated. I had a lawyer friend who helped me out. And I was thinking when I came back from Scottsdale and started everything up again. Scottsdale, Arizona. Helena was, and I was with Gordon Novell and Dr. Rocher. When I got back to Vancouver, it was kind of like, wow, okay, and then it started everything high-powered. That's when I got caught. What the hell's going on here? Fire marshal and others. The mayor of New Westminster asked him. So they interviewed some of the people as their dishes and ornaments were falling apart. Oh, that's when it kind of went, I didn't do it anymore. I was doing other things, like in the Gulf of Mexico with wife Nancy Hutchison, using broadband frequency and pulse modulated frequencies and CW continuous wave RF sources and multiple RF sources. And it worked. And it was documented by scientists as well. Then moved to Oregon from Minnesota. What was that? We're doing power cells in Minnesota, TV shows. Line drawn in the sand. Nancy was fighting corrupt judges and getting rid of them. She went a lot of political stuff. But anyway, went to Oregon, set up more experimental stuff with oil and water. Built a 25-foot long ray gun, as it's called, or interferometer, as it really is. It's not in here, it's outside in a separate building. So, using it against radioactivity, which is logical because the Navy was experimenting with ELF, VLF radio waves, and it seemed to keep the cosmic rays away. Some of them. That's where I got inspired to do a lot of stuff too. And from Oregon, moved to California. And shortly after Dr. Rocher left, I moved to California. So I got kind of re-energized into electronic stuff that I used to do, and I was lucky to get some things here. Thanks to some good eBay sellers and her radio sales, sent pallets. Huge pallets, truckloads of stuff. when did I get, well, 2 years ago I got serious with this stuff again. Before I was doing other things, kind of. So, things are happening. I mean, it's looking good. Sleepy. I worked all day, so I mean, it's moving stuff, and you got to use a cherry picker. Then I have to lift up the 100 pounders, but the other one's like 200 pounders. No, or 150 pounds. No, got to use cherry picker. So I did that, cleaned everything up, and then tomorrow I start on this section here. Before that, I was not working with electronics for some days. I was working in the armory. Another one of my crazy interests. Artillery and guns and stuff. Machinery. So I flip around like, okay, time to do this now. That's just the way I am. Okay? I'm not out to prove anything. Right? I'm just who I am. Jeez. No, I never kept notes. Never did. Never wanted to. Not into paperwork at all. Whoops, sorry, Evie. Oh, I sort of slipped off the chair tonight. Ow. So, yeah. I just do what the hell I want to do. Like working for the Artificial Reef Society. In British Columbia, Canada. 4 Navy ships, 5 years, a lot of fun I had. Thanks West Roots for having me there, taking apart the cannons and electronics. Doing all the fun stuff, which I took videos of too. I do it all over again. I'd love to get on a warship. I still got pieces and parts of the ships here, of course. I didn't want any money. No, I was funded by Japan or Thomas. $250,000. I've been funded up to almost $1 million, I think. But I kept my bargain with my clients and made the power cell units. Lots of videos of those. But you know, nobody's really interested in that stuff. They couldn't get funders. So anyway. TV shows, well, they air and you get letters from Donald Trump. Dump. Which I still have letters from Donald Trump. He's kind of turned into a little monster. As I said in the other video, it's kind of like a hamster, a mad hamster with his little paws going this all the time. But anyway. Yeah. Special situation in Canada for the apprentice. Anyway. I didn't go. That's just not my world. Come on. My world is scrapyards and junk. Not trying to be a business person. Although I am to a point. But it's usually just verbal or a contract and so on. So, you know, it's just fun. I have fun. I always keep my word. So this project here, I'm trying to keep my word without running off somewhere and doing something else. So I'm having fun. I've been that way all my life. I've never joined the human race. Never owned a house, never owned a car, never owned anything. I just never joined the human race. And oddly enough, I met a lot of important, interesting people. And some from U.S. Congress, like Dennis Kucinich and Berkeley Bedell and many hundreds of other people. So I even have a patent. I forget what I did with it. Or what it was about, for Pete's sake. I gave it to, I think it was DARPA in 2000 or something. Because I was on the government program in the United States, on the SBIR program. Richard Sparks was my, I don't know, your agent to hang out with her. So I think it was quarterly or 4 times a year I get all these documents. I sent in a few things to DARP and other places. Phillips Labs, who reviewed something, and I have it all in writing. I have all the documents, and even my project number from Richard Sparks, thanks to Tom Bearden in 1983 already. So I got a lot of studied a hell of a lot of stuff from them. Submitted a couple of proposals. Let's see. When I was in Germany, I didn't receive. Oh, Billy Ross took care of that. Received all the mail from them. I remember now. Bill Ross, transgender person who I lived with for about 84 years. Wow. I don't know if Billy ever had his operation. I did phone him when I got back, and he was had another partner, but oh, he was a good soul. We had a lot, let's say, fun. But anyway, see, I never lived in a normal life. No desire to be a big shot, no desire to this or that. Just live in warehouses or basements. On welfare since whenever. There is a video of me applying for welfare in 1970. I saw it on YouTube, but I can't find it again. Can you? I was lived on Hastings Street. And I worked, was in the nut house as well for 13 months. It's called Riverview, Westlawn, Crease Clinic. Check it out, look it up. I had a lot of fun there too, lots of hot sex. And a gun collection and radio equipment there as well. On A2 Ward, ask Dr. Slichter or Dr. Alice Kramer or social workers there. You can figure it out, can't you? Oh, I spent my time having fun. Wink, wink. That's what first niacin rush was as well. Huh. So I got, doctor said, if you ever get sick of this place, let me know. And one day I did, and then it's when I went to Hastings Street to find a room in North Vancouver. Mrs. Murphy's, 1458 East 29th Street, Lynn Valley, North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I worked at the Ecology Center for, I think, about 4 years. It was sponsored by the welfare people. You make extra money if you work. So I loved doing that for a while. I do fire patrol work and other work. I did gunsmithing and other stuff, and then on it went, blah, blah, blah. But I had a lot of fun in Germany and Austria and Japan and Egypt. I met Ian, filmmaker, fell in love for some number of years. She was right here not too long ago. Yeah, I do still love her. So, but again, I said before, I met Helena, got married, and she wanted to change me, and I left. Just got on called a taxi to PHX Airport, then off to Vancouver, and that's when I restarted the experiments and got in trouble from the mayor of New Westminster. So I gotta be careful what I'm doing with this stuff. Because the feels are random and you just. I was stupid. I didn't realize that aspect of it. It was all affected New Westminster. I don't know if it made the news or it did make the news, sorry. Yes, it did. BCIT News. It's uploaded on my YouTube channel somewhere. Lama Lee and others talked about it. Anyway, this is a little speech going on here. I'm just sitting, unwinding from all that super good exercise and looking hot and sexy. Oh yeah, I'm hypersexual. I think it's one of the best things around. SEX. Plus a midlife extension. And before the internet, I had my dad's encyclopedias and books. I read all about it in 70s, 60s, whenever I was. So, that's John's little news story for the day. And I don't know how long I've been chatting. I hope it's still turned on. So what do you think of my style here? How can I improve my hot looks? Lipstick? Makeup? I got pretty dressed up a few times and I really got people like, oh, you're so hot. Thank you. I want you to have a little fun in the wherever. But oh well. Like I spook a lot of people too when they watch some of these videos of mine. Who the hell is that nut? It's funny how people react. Some just sort of embrace you as you are, others don't. Because I understand psychology and the human system, you know. Oh, I don't know that guy. Oh, no, you know. But faithful friends have great comments and talk. I met a number of good folks here, and because you're all used to seeing me on the television, like Discovery Channel, Beyond Invention, and Johnny acts that way. But Johnny doesn't act that way in real life. He acts this way all the time. So, anyway, I probably talked long enough. Little EVO down here, he accepts me as I am, except without that mask on. He doesn't like me changing my looks that much. Hi, EVO. I know, Daddy is loopy as a fruitcake. I am loopy as a fruitcake. Fruity patootie. Oh, no, nah. I wouldn't want to get operated on. I like to get rid of my bags. Cut those off. That's it. I just like being neutral. All the gears are not meshed properly, so it's just riding along like, oh well. Go talk to the ravens, which I do. I do talk to ravens. There's a family of ravens here, about 40 of them, I think. And they come for eating time, and I get along with animals perfect, like bears and Linmore, lived at Linmore Village with Billy Ross. We go to the dump, the landfill, and the bears would come in to eat the garbage. We'd be scrounging for metallic things, and Billy and I carried a TV set back to his home. It was just thrown out, nothing wrong with it. The bears didn't want us to cross a certain area, and they started growling. I said, "Oh, I don't think we'll go that way, Billy. Let's just go this way somehow through the mud and gup." A night to remember. This is at nighttime too. And old George would come and look for scrap metal. Yeah, I found a beautiful military radio receiver there. Plus other stuff. Bicycles. Junk. But it was a fun time. After 4. Until sometimes we'd be up there until 12 at night, for Pete's sake. Using flashlights and candle. We're totally nuts. And I had a crow land on my shoulder when going there one day. No ravens, but a crow. No ravens in that area for some reason. And walked to the landfill, found a box, put Mr. Crow in the box, put some bedding in it, and I just thought he must be a very old crow. No fear or nothing. Whoa. What's the bears? I ignore them. They don't do anything. So they don't bother me. Anyway, I should shut up and see what the hell time it is. Little Johnny Cupcake's gotta go. And that's been a long time talking.